Hello again, children. Before I go to bed, I'd like to tell you a story. As I mentioned in my previous video, I feel happy. Something happened at work recently. My boss said that I did something that I didn't do. So in case some shit goes down at my job, and since I did happen to mention Scientology very briefly in my previous video, if some shit does go down, and people start saying certain things, I'd like this to serve as a record, a testimony, if you will, as to what actually happened. First, I'm gonna eat this damn carrot, because I love carrots. Okay, so the last Monday of October, I have a copy of the schedule here somewhere, but I'm not going to bother pulling it out. Boss asks me to come in at 10 a.m. instead of my usual 7. Alright, whatever. You know, I'm getting a pretty decent schedule now, so I come in a little later, no big deal. I get in at 9:45-ish. There's already people at the desk looking to check out. Now, this one lady, I punch in on the time clock a little earlier. This one lady wants to check out, but wants to pay her bill in cash. Fine. Hands me a $100 bill. Well, it turns out I left the keys in the breakfast area, which is across from the desk, so $100 bill in hand, go get the keys, hold up the bill. I still got it, in full view of the security camera, and in full view of everyone else, you know, hey, I'll be right with you. Process transaction. I struggle with the cash drawer. There's a lock on it. It doesn't always work very well. The lock is very finicky with the key, and sometimes the mechanism bends and doesn't open. Struggle with that for about a minute. And transactions processed, receipts printed, and that's that. And I just get a very steady influx of people looking to check out. Well, at the end of my shift, I count down my drawer. Turns out I'm $100 short. Uh-oh. That's not right. Somebody else must have taken in money on my shift and I didn't know about it. I tell my boss. My general manager, myself, and the assistant manager tear that desk apart looking for that $100. Going through all the computers, the transactions listed in the computer. Everything is accounted for in the computer. Nothing is amiss as far as that computer record is concerned. But the $100 bill is missing. Oh shit. Well, after disassembling the cash drawer itself, pulling it out, taking it apart, putting it back together, putting it back in, taking a flashlight and looking everywhere, none of us can find this fucking thing. So my boss gets the most brilliant of ideas that it's coming out of my check. What? No. Sorry, but I put that $100 bill in the drawer. I'm pretty sure I did. It wouldn't surprise me if at some point I was handling another transaction later in the day. I got distracted and someone could have reached over the desk and taken it. It happens all the time in other places, other retail and hospitality establishments all across the country. Someone takes advantage of the distracted clerk and admittedly that is a lot of money to lose in a single shift. But I offer to my boss, because I know how bad this looks. And I'm a lot of things, but a thief ain't one. I have never stolen money in my entire life, ever. And I've been through some shit. I know what it's like to go for a few days without eating. I know what it's like to not know if you're going to be able to sleep with a roof over your head. I won't get into details, because whenever I tell that story, it just makes me very upset and nobody believes me anyway. So anyway, I offer to dump out my purse, turn out my coat pockets, and the outfit I'm wearing that day didn't have any pockets, so she refuses. I'm like, okay, whatever. 5 minutes later, I wait for Mark, the assistant manager, to come in so he can see me, and I offer again, look, I'll turn out everything I have, everything I brought with me, to show you that I did not take this. I did not take this money. And again, she just kind of brushed me off and refused. I'm like, okay, this is sketchy. I've worked jobs, retail and hospitality, where coat and bag checks were mandatory. So here I'm offering one voluntarily, and she still wants to take the money out of my check. Now, some of you might be a little confused as to what's the problem with that. Legally, your employer can only take money out of your check if they have solid evidence that you stole money from the register or from another customer. And that's just all that there is to it. And since I willingly gave my consent to be searched twice and was refused both times, not to mention there's recorded footage from the 2 security cameras that are watching that front desk 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, that should be enough proof that I didn't steal anything. She still took the $100 out of my goddamn check. So as of this morning, I filled out a 3-page form, the Arkansas Board of Labor. This is the second time within a year that I've had to contact the Arkansas Board of Labor. The first time was for things remembered. I made another video about that. But yeah. So I'm probably about to get fired. The funny thing is, the next day, Mark, the assistant manager, is going over the paperwork from that Monday's transactions and whatnot. He says not only can he not find a single flaw in the computer, anything that I did that day, but he said, you know, after looking at this, there's a very real possibility that that drawer might have been short before my shift even started. And that apparently the general manager needs some kind of a signed consent form / court order saying that I gave my consent for money to be taken out of my check, which I never gave. If anything, I offered and did everything within my power, within my knowledge and power, to prove that I didn't steal anything. So, this is just my testimony. This is what's been on my mind and what's been keeping me awake at night. So, any prayers and positive energy that y'all can send my way, I don't care who it is, Jesus, Buddha, Allah, my left foot, I could care less. But I of course greatly appreciate it. So if y'all start hearing things that I stole a shitload of money from a hotel in Arkansas, y'all know it's not true. Have a nice night.